Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I know so many of you over on TikTok have been blowing up the comments asking for this, so today we're finally doing some customer reviews analysis for it. But before we dive into that, be sure to check out this exclusive discount available for it. You'll find it in the description and in the first comment under this video. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Let's start with our first reviewer's experience.
This reviewer found the setup process for this Wi-Fi to Ethernet adapter to be refreshingly straightforward, largely thanks to the spot-on perfect instructions included. Our reviewer noted that there are two ways to get it running, either through an admin interface or by using the WPS button. While both were tested, the WPS method proved to be the simplest path. There was a small snag where this method didn't immediately allow for a custom network name, but this client wasn't too bothered since the primary goal was to utilize the adapter's Ethernet port, not to broadcast a new Wi-Fi signal. For anyone just needing a wired connection from a wireless source, this was a non-issue. Once up and running, the signal strength of this device was found to be fantastic. It features a very user-friendly design element, a single light on the front that blinks red when it's not connected and shines a steady green when it is, making it incredibly easy to see the status from across the room. Our reviewer did observe a slight quirk during the initial connection. It could take about 2 to 3 minutes to establish a solid link, sometimes going through a cycle of connecting, disconnecting, and then reconnecting. However, once that final connection was made, it remained stable and reliable. For those who like to tinker with settings, the admin portal might seem a bit basic. This client described it as being quite optionless, clearly designed with the average consumer in mind rather than a tech enthusiast looking for advanced controls. To be fair, these extra options didn't seem necessary for the device's core function. Overall, this was a purchase our reviewer was not disappointed with at all. It's a great piece of hardware that does its job effectively. The recommendation was clear: for a simple and fast setup, especially on newer Wi-Fi networks, using the WPS option is the way to go.
Let's start by delving into the insights shared by our first reviewer.
This reviewer was looking for a straightforward solution to a common household networking problem, getting a stable, wired internet connection to a part of their home that the main router couldn't easily reach. They needed to connect a printer in their garage, a notorious dead zone for a reliable signal, and hoped this Wi-Fi to Ethernet adapter would be the perfect fix. Initially, our reviewer ran into a bit of a snag during setup. The device had some trouble communicating with their particularly modern, next-generation mesh Wi-Fi system. This is often the point where frustration can set in, but the experience that followed completely changed their perspective. Bracing for a long wait, they reached out to customer support and were pleasantly surprised to receive a reply in a remarkably short amount of time. The support team proved to be incredibly responsive and helpful. Over a series of just 4 back-and-forth communications, all taking place in less than a day, the compatibility issue was fully diagnosed and resolved. Now that it's up and running, the device performs its job flawlessly. This client is clear that while it doesn't function as an extension or node of their existing mesh network, it serves its specific purpose perfectly. It effectively acts as a wireless bridge, pulling in a strong signal and converting it into a rock-solid wired Ethernet connection for their printer. The stability and performance in the garage have been excellent. Ultimately, the reviewer gives an enthusiastic recommendation not only for this handy piece of hardware, but for the manufacturer behind it, citing the outstanding customer service as a major reason they would confidently choose them again.
Alright, let's find out what our next reviewer has to share.
This reviewer found this adapter surprisingly straightforward to get up and running, although there was a minor hiccup during the initial setup. It seems there's a limitation on the length of the Wi-Fi network name that this gadget can handle. While this isn't an issue if you're using your own router, where you can adjust the name length in the settings, it becomes a factor when connecting to publicly provided Wi-Fi networks. This client was initially stumped as their building's Wi-Fi network name exceeded the allowed character limit. Thankfully, our reviewer was able to work around the problem by discovering other available Wi-Fi networks in the area for both the 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz bands that had shorter, compatible names. It was a bit of a scramble, but ultimately a successful workaround. Once this hurdle was cleared, the adapter performed exactly as promised. It created a stable and reliable Ethernet connection from the selected Wi-Fi source. All in all, this reviewer is satisfied with the device's performance, but feels that potential users should be aware of the Wi-Fi name length constraint beforehand, especially if they plan on using it with public Wi-Fi.
That's it for today's review. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below and let's chat. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.